So here in Alabama, you'll notice that those water heaters are going to be up in the attic. So I've done a couple of these videos before and people really seem to like them. I'm going to talk about some of the weirdest things that you're never going to expect with lower Alabama homes. Because when you're not from here, you're just like, what were they thinking? So if you're moving to LA and you're wondering what those 5 weird things about Alabama homes are, don't move because it's coming right up.
What's up, everybody? I'm Tony and this is my partner Jess, and we're here with the Living in Lower Alabama channel. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, and play right here, then make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click that little bell so you're notified each and every time we drop a new video. We honestly get so many phone calls, emails, and texts every single day from people who are moving and relocating here to Lower Alabama, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving anywhere in the LA area, make sure you give us a call, you shoot us a text, or send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back for moving anywhere in Lower Alabama.
The reason we're shooting this video is because we just started noticing all these quirks about Alabama homes, and we figured we'd share them with you so you can be prepared or not totally shocked. So we went through and wrote down a list of the 5 weirdest things about Alabama homes, and we're going to start off with number 1.
Number 1 is, why in the world would you ever think about putting a water heater or 2 water heaters up in your attic? Now, maybe where you come from, this is normal, but in my everyday life from before, I've never heard of that. What? In fact, in the Midwest, typically you have to put it in the basement in case it leaks, right? So if it leaks, then at least it leaks onto the basement floor and the floor drain. So it really never affected anything because it's downstairs or in the garage somewhere. So just totally night and day.
Totally weird.
Yeah, that's weird, man. That's weird.
So here in Alabama, you'll notice that those water heaters are going to be up in the attic. Now, the houses that I've lived in are all 2 stories. So now you've got this 2-story home and up top water heaters. We've got a tankless water heater in the house we're living in right now, and it's actually leaking, but it's an easy fix. I just make Tony go up there and take care of it.
That's why it's an easy fix.
Basic meaning simple or basic meaning basic?
The other house we had in LA that was in DAPHNE, we had both water heaters up in the attic. And now we've been fortunate to not have any kind of water leaks, and you do have them in a pan, and there's a white PVC pipe that like kind of goes out of the house that's supposed to like catch it if it does leak or drain or whatever. But what a pain in the butt. And let's not forget, it's June right now. I don't know when you're watching this, but it's already about 92, 96 degrees outside, which means in the attic, it's like 150,000 degrees.
So the number 2 thing is, obviously you're gonna have AC units down here, right? Which you have to have outside, but the entire HVAC system itself will be upstairs in the attic again. So my attics have 2 entrances and you have to walk up and around them to service them. You're crawling all over them, or if you're running wire for a surround sound like I just did, then you're trying to maneuver around them, which is a pain in the ass.
God, that hurts.
But if you don't have a sauna, no problem, because it's the same thing as your gym sauna up there. But for real, a lot of your major HVAC systems, water heaters, they're all up in the attic, and it makes it so hard because winter stuff always go bad right in the dead of summer. So it's about 4 degrees hotter than hell up there. So you know what you have to do immediately to do when it's hot outside, right? You make sure you have a garage full of cold beer. This isn't anything weird, but it's a tip for all you youngins because it is hotter than hell.
So yeah, you have to be aware that major mechanical stuff is located in the attic. I remember searching for a furnace or a hot water heater, and I thought to myself, does this house even have one? And come to find out, it was in the attic. So weird stuff. But okay, so now I want to talk about the number 3 thing that kind of drives me nuts about Alabama homes, and that's the fact that having gutters is considered to be an upgrade on your home, and it's not the norm. And I don't know if you've heard about the rain we get down here, but we get torrential downpours all the time, and you'd think everyone would want gutters because we get inches and inches of rain at any given moment, but here we are. So our last house didn't have gutters, and I remember Tony leaning over the edge in our carport, and it was literally a waterfall on him. And it was a torrential downpour, and I'm just like, the rain had nowhere to like go. It was just pouring from every which direction. So it was just kind of weird to me that gutters aren't the norm down here.
I mean, I considered it to be magical in a sense, and she considered it to be gross. So our number 4 thing is you're going to be running your AC like you've never ran your AC before. And I'm a Midwest kid, so I actually grew up in a house that didn't even have an AC unit. We would just open the windows and just suffer for about 2 months, or let the air come in through the windows at night to cool down the house. So I don't know, we use a lot of fans. I remember we had about 10 fans now, and me and my brother would take them all in our bedroom until someone would notice. But here, you're gonna live and die by your AC units. So obviously keeping them well maintained is gonna be a priority. You're gonna want to make sure you're cleaning your drain lines because they can get clogged. And I've learned a couple different ways to do this from the locals. Number 1 is to blow them out with an air gun. And number 2 is gonna be pouring some bleach down the drain lines. But be careful because you don't want to be walking around your house up into the attic with a couple bleach in your hand. So I always recommend putting a bottle up there and using it every few months for preventative maintenance purposes. And with all that being said, next are your air filters. The filters get dirty so fast. It was always a quarterly checkup in our house up north, but here if you go over a month or 2, it'll start sucking the filter right into the unit. Like you'll hear these sounds and this loud whistling, and just trust me, make sure you go up there and you replace them. What I like to do is to go on Amazon and buy a 12-pack of these bad boys and just try and set a reminder that every month I'm gonna go up there and replace them.
Okay, number 5, you're gonna notice these shutters on everybody's windows. They're called storm shades or storm blinds. I personally don't have them, but I know that's something that we need to invest in very soon because we get a lot of storms in here. And they serve a very big purpose down here. When we first moved in our house, Tony was like, oh, what are those things? They're so ugly. I've only seen this decoration. I'm not really crazy about them. They have like these metal frames, and one day we were outside and we saw our neighbors had them up, and I asked him, do you keep those up all year round? And he said, yeah, if you take them off, your power bill is going to shoot up $300 in the summertime. So we noticed how important they were, and not only that, but if there's a hurricane, boom, you're ready to go.
I'm ready. Hold on. Here we go.
Okay, so getting these storm shutters is actually pretty easy. There's companies that will come out and install. They'll measure your home, they'll custom make them for all your windows, and it's this like black shade, and it keeps a lot of the heat out of the house during those really hot months. And then they have these really nice big ones that double as a shutter to block out strong rains and winds. In fact, the first house we were in didn't have them during the summer. If you stood by those windows, it was so hot, like you just felt the sun beating in on you. And it was really tough to keep that house cool down in those summer months. So the storm shades are actually a lot cheaper in the long run because you're going to save on your electricity bill when you're running that AC all year round trying to keep up with it.
And when a hurricane comes through and tries to knock out your windows,
yeah,
save on that
obviously,
too.
plus the storm shutters are the best way to go because we know that we do see these crazy hurricanes down here and torrential downpours and pretty intense windstorms.
And everything costs like $1 million today, so that's something that's definitely look into, and I think it's affordable and cheaper in the long run. It's just really going to keep the sunlight out too. But those are some of the quirks I'm telling you guys about, and right now you're going to learn a heck of a lot more sticking with us on our channel. But Laura, Alabama is amazing, and if you're moving here anyways and you don't want to move to the wrong spot, make sure you give us a call or shoot us a text. But now I've got to go show more houses, so we're going to go and move on.
And don't forget, we've got your back when moving anywhere in Lower Alabama. Until the next video, guys, we'll see you all later.
Make sure to like and subscribe.